What's going on, everyone? This is Luke from South Beach Sports, and in today's video we'll be breaking down the signings of both Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker by the Miami Heat, and if these two signings will propel the Heat to championship contention status. So a couple things first, this is a new mic that I'm using. I really can't find my other mic right now and I need to make these videos as soon as possible. So if the audio sounds a little different in this video and in the next video, I apologize. Also, I will be making another video tonight about some cheap free agent options that the Heat could look into for filling out their bench. So definitely be on the lookout for that video as well. Like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that post notification bell so you do not miss a single video. Also, go ahead and comment down below your thoughts on the PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry signings for the Heat. So, as we all expected, as soon as it hit 6 o'clock, Kyle Lowry signed a 3-year, $90 million deal with Miami. This came as no surprise as there's been mutual interest between Lowry and the Heat ever since the trade deadline. Lowry obviously has a good relationship with Jimmy Butler, and as you guys know, relationships matter a lot in the NBA. So I'm going to give my opinions on both Kyle Lowry the player and what he would bring to the Heat and what I think of the contract that he received. So first off, for the contract, he did get that 3-year $90 million deal, which is a little expensive, but I mean, when you compare it to what some of the other players in the point guard market got, Mike Conley got $72 million over 4 years, 3 years. Chris Paul got $120 million over 4 years. So that $90 million figure over 3 years for Kyle Lowry really doesn't seem that bad when you compare it to others. Obviously, I wish we could have gone Lowry for around that $25 million a year range, but I'm not that upset with this contract at all. So what will Kyle Lowry bring now that he's the starting point guard of the Miami Heat? Well, I would expect Bam Adebayo's game to improve a lot because of this. Adebayo really needs a true point guard to really just up his game and be able to take his game to the next level. We saw that last year with DeAndre Ayton, as under Chris Paul, his game improved so much because, you know, he had a point guard that was able to get him the ball at the right spots, able to throw him crisp passes, someone that can really work that pick and roll game with Ayton, and I expect Lowry to do just that. Lowry is definitely the definition of a true point guard. He averaged 7.3 assists a game last year with the Toronto Raptors, and I expect him to really elevate Bam's game. Probably the biggest need for the Heat coming into this offseason was the need for a true point guard. The Heat really lacked a point guard last year who could really set up the offense and facilitate to not only Bam, but to the likes of Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, someone who can run their offense, and the Heat didn't have someone like that last year. Lowry will obviously step in and be that point guard that they need so badly, someone who can run their offense efficient and effectively, and also someone who will be able to give Jimmy Butler some rest on offense, let Butler work on in more of an off-ball role, which I think will definitely lengthen Jimmy Butler's prime as he won't be expected to do as much. Lowry will add some much needed scoring to the Heat's offense, as that was one thing the Heat struggled with a lot last year. They needed guys who can put the ball in the basket in key moments, and Lowry is one of those types of players. He averaged 17 a game last year off pretty decent efficiency. Now, he's not necessarily a scoring whale. He's not an ISO guy. He averaged less than 1 ISO a game last year, but he can definitely score at will within the realms of the offense. He's very good off pick and rolls. He's a very good 3-level scorer. He can drive to the basket, he can use his mid-range pull-up, and he's also a very solid 3-point shooter, as he had a 40% clip from 3 last year with a high volume attempts at 7 a game. Lowry will be a very key defender in the Heat's defense. He's tough, he's aggressive, he gets in your face, he knows when to set charges, he has good intangibles. Overall, a very solid defender, which is important. In that Bucks series, the Heat didn't really have anybody who you could rely on to guard Jrue Holiday without sacrificing a matchup elsewhere. That won't be a problem with Lowry, as he could step up and guard Jrue Holiday in a hypothetical Bucks series next season. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what Lowry will bring to the Heat, not only on the offensive end but on the defensive end as well. The Heat also signed PJ Tucker last night, which was a huge surprise for me. I thought he was a shoo-in to sign with the Bucks, but that didn't end up happening. He signed a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Heat, which I thought was very team-friendly. There were reports that Tucker wanted a contract of around $12 million a year, and to get him for $7.5 million was definitely a good deal. Tucker won't stuff the stat sheet in Miami, but he's never really been that guy. He's built a very solid career off being a tough, brutal defender. He is still probably a top I would say 15 to 20 perimeter defender in the league. He's often tasked with guarding the other team's best player, as he guarded Kevin Durant in that Nets series, and was just a key defender in the Bucks 22-21 championship run. He's a leader, he's tough, he's an enforcer, which I think is something that the Heat missed last year. They lacked guys who were enforcers. On the offensive end, he has a very simple, centralized role as a corner three-point shooter. Nothing wrong with that, but he's not really going to give you much else. He did struggle from deep in the Bucks playoff run last year. He only shot 32% from three, so that's obviously something that the Heat hope he can improve on into next year. But I am a huge fan of this signing. I think he'll really plug into the starting power forward spot very nicely, and even if he doesn't start, he will definitely contribute key rotational minutes. So the question that we have to ask now is, do these signings of Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker elevate the Heat to championship contention status? And the answer to that is no, it does not. While the Heat have gone a lot better this offseason so far, they're still a good tier behind the Nets and the Bucks, who have both had very respectable off seasons as well. Especially the Nets, they've been remarkable. They've been able to re-sign both Bruce Brown and Blake Griffin, and they also went ahead and got Patty Mills and James Johnson in free agency. So the Nets have been making moves as well. The Bucks also got Rodney Hood. They re-signed Bobby Portis to a very team-friendly deal. So the answer to if the Heat are now championship contenders, in my opinion, is no. That's going to be it for today, guys. I actually just got a notification on my phone that Markieff Morris is signing with the Miami Heat, so I'm going to do a video on that immediately after this. With that being said, I will catch you later. Peace.